Hello, Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration. Wanted to chat with you today about fear versus faith. And it is so incredibly true that we cannot serve two masters. We often think that we are living in faith, but the fact of the matter is the majority of our life is not being lived in faith. Pardon my noises here. We'll just close that out real quick for you. So, what I would task you with or suggest that you do over the course of the next few days is take a look at what percentage of your life you are spending in fear versus faith. And they really are polar opposites. You can't be in both at the same time. So you are in either or. So you are either in faith or you are in fear. Now there can be a little bit of a neutral ground, which I would put neutral more in the the faith category. That typically if you're not feeling any discomfort, you're not feeling at dis-ease with anything in your life, then you tend to be more in the surrender and the faith, which is where we want to be. So what I would suggest is over the next couple of days, take a look at, as you go throughout your life, what your language looks like. So I'm not necessarily saying high vibration versus low vibration or good versus evil when I say positive or negative. I'm more so speaking to general English language. So yes is a positive word, no is a negative word, right? So look at your language and look at how frequently you are using a positive word versus a negative word. Catch the I can'ts, I won't, I shouldn't, I didn't, all of those limitations, right? All of the negative, right? So I had a call recently with someone who really wanted to help, but there was just such an air of, I can't. I tried that already. I can't. This isn't working. It won't. I don't want to, right? And when it is such an overarching energy, it takes hold. You truly cannot see the truth that's in front of you, and you become triggered by the things that we need to look at. And so we need to kind of step back and notice when someone says, when someone offers a suggestion of how we could improve, and your immediate response is, I don't want to do that. I'm not giving up the whole rest of my life and everything I've ever tried to get to this point. I can't do that, right? That response is an opportunity to step back and look at, what am I choosing to believe? What thought habit, is now in my life and perpetuating the negative perspective, the I can'ts, the limitations, the limiting beliefs? The language that you have chosen is coming from a neural pathway that is very deeply ingrained and established, so much so to the point that you can't see it. And so, what we need to start to understand is that thoughts truly are things. They are things not only in your brain, the dendrites, right? The worn down pathway in the forest that you have walked so many times that it becomes so habitual that it happens in split fractions of a second and you don't even know it's happened. That's a real thing, right? That thought habit, that thought pattern becomes an energy, becomes almost an entity of itself. It takes over, right? Because it's our habit and we don't have to exert any energy to go there. It takes on a life of its own. Whereas if we understand that this dendrite kind of looks like a tree-like structure in your brain, it can be dissolved. It will literally turn into hot air. It will go away if you ignore it and you choose to prune that neural pathway by catching those thoughts and saying, I no longer need this. This is no longer serving me. I'm going to set this to the side and I'm going to replace it with the belief that there is a way. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to remain as king when I ask a question. As king, right? So we're asking the questions, how can I? How can I shift this? How can I replace this limiting belief? How can I replace this pattern? And so what I suggest over these next few days is you watch your language and you find a percentage of the time you're using negative language, 60% of the time, 70, 80, 90, 99. That would suggest that you are primarily in fear, which means you are blocking any good, not any good. You're blocking your manifestations. You're blocking the things that you want that you don't currently have, right? So if the try to bucket your thought habits, bucket the patterns that you're starting to see, and then assign a percentage. What percentage is negative and what percentage is positive? And it's not just the external language that's actually coming out of your mouth, but the language in your mind, right? We have 80,000 thoughts a day. 80 to 90% of those are repeated. So at best, you have 8 to 9,000 unique thoughts a day. So how much effort should we be giving this if these thoughts are happening without our conscious awareness? There's 8 to 9,000 thoughts that we need to start being aware of and start catching and start watching. What percentage of those thoughts are positive versus negative? And that tells you what percentage of your life you're living in faith versus fear. And if we are in fear, if we're in worry and anxiety, we're projecting out into the future of what I can't control, or we're feeling bad about the past and what we can't change, we are recreating more of that. And that is not what we want. And I'm sure there's not a single person watching this video that would say, I want to recreate more of those things that I worry about or that I wish I could change, right? The only moment we have is now. And the creation, because we are creators, we are creating all the time. Everything that we're experiencing right now, we have created, whether we like that or not. And so coming back to a place of conscious creation requires us to be in this moment, to catch these thoughts in this second, every second, and the now, and the now, and the now, and to make sure that we catch them, we take them captive. They are our prisoners, and we say, no, Control Alt Delete, right? That is not going to happen in my life. I'm going to set you aside. I'm going to replace you. So catch and replace, catch and replace, catch and replace. That's how we get from 90% negative to 90% positive. That's how we get from where we are to where we're trying to go. That's how we change the chemistry in our body to heal our bodies. That our thoughts are creating dis-ease in the body. The mind is the great alchemist of the body. The mind has to match in chemistry in the body the thoughts that you are feeding it, essentially. So that I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I didn't, I refuse to releases stress hormones in the body, turning on all the genes you don't want, creating dis-ease in the body. What you do want, the healing, is turned on by the positive thoughts. I can heal. I can change my thoughts. I can find my life purpose. I can manifest. I can manifest the money I need to shift from my current job to my life purpose. I can go all in. It is just a choice. So, with that, I will leave you. We'll keep it short and sweet today. Remember, faith is the path to the life you desire. Fear is the limitation that will keep you from it. You have to be, we all in this together. I'm working on it every day, all day too. This is not, it's not easy, especially as a mom, a single mom with kids trying to get out the door to get to school on time. When is it most critical that those thoughts are positive and kind and loving and patient, right? So we're all in this together. And we can do this. This is collectively our task at the moment. And so if I can do it, you can do it too. And certainly I'm here to help if you need that. And a mirror is super important. So if it's not me, definitely employ your friends and your family. Talk to people. Ask, what words do I use most frequently? What's a really awesome exercise is record yourself. Use your phone. Doesn't have to go anywhere. Nobody's going to watch it but you. But just have a conversation, right? Talk about how you're feeling. Talk about what's on your mind. Write it down in a journal and then go back over and review those words. And look for any place that you are limiting yourself or holding yourself back. Afraid of the future. When we are afraid of the future, we are creating the thing we fear in our future. And heaven forbid that be for our kids or our community or our collective society globally, right? If we are worried about the things that have not happened yet, we are feeding energy into that very thing we don't want. And so faith requires coming back to center first, bring your body back to neutrality by coming back into your heart. Bring your focused attention and awareness on your heart. Breathe in through your heart and out through your heart. That calms the nervous system, it regulates the body, it turns off flight or fight, it brings your executive function back on, it turns your immune system back on. We're going to breathe. And then from there, we can remember, why do I need to have faith? One, it's because that's how I get to where I'm trying to go. But two, look around. The birds don't struggle to eat. The trees don't struggle for water. The sun always comes up. Look back to every time that you've ever fretted and worried over something, and did it really serve you? Or did it just work itself out, and it probably would have done that anyways? And really, that was wasted energy that we could be using in this now moment to connect to our divine God source creator and surrender into the beauty and freedom of faith. And that's how life becomes amazing, and how it's awesome, and it's fun and enjoyable. It's everything that we desire. So, with that, I will leave you. I love you. You know where to find me. I will link below any opportunities to work with me if you're interested. Certainly, coaching sessions are available for a limited time. I am becoming busier and busier, so really, I would highly suggest, if you want to work with me, I have a 12-week course and a 12-month support program that go hand in hand. Weekly Q&As and one-on-one coaching is included in all of that. It's a bundle for a far lower cost than the one-on-one coaching cost. So links below, and I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Have a fabulous day.